everyone, it's Annette Green back again with my Elizabeth Craft Designs planner, my memory keeping planner that is my weekly journal from 2023. We are documenting week by week, 1 page per week, and we are all the way up here on week 14. I do have a playlist, if you're new here, of all my weekly videos, if you'd like to check that out, previous ones. I share a lot of tips and techniques and sneak peeks and all kinds of stuff. So here we are, week 14, and this is what my page looks like. I'm ready to go. All right, and we're going to get right to it today. As you can see, every week I have the number of the week, so that is from Planner Essentials 37, the Stitched Letters and Numbers set. I've been using this from the double digits forward, and before that I was using the large number set, which is this size here. For the double digits, I just need to go a little bit smaller. So we need the number 14, we know that, so I'm going to grab those. And I'm thinking about incorporating some of my new dies on this page, because I have some photos picked here. I think I want to use my lace borders, and I want to use some of my Playful Flowers. I've been watching just these beautiful designs come across from my design team. In particular, Rihanna and Pia have been doing some really beautiful things with the lace borders and those Playful Flowers. So I'm going to kind of try something being inspired by them. So I have my photos ready. Nothing big happened last week, you know, it was a work week for me, a lot of work. So we did go to Ikea on Sunday, Easter Sunday. So I have the Ikea logo, I have us in the car, I have, of course, the Swedish meatballs, because you got to have that. And then, you know, what we bought at Ikea, which was bedding. So that's my bedroom. So I have that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I got my number 14. And then I have this little printable from the Graphics Fairy. It is, let's see if they name it here. It's Easter morning gift tags. I have a premium membership with them. I download all the time, and I just thought these images are really sweet. Now these are tags, but as I'm looking at my page, I don't really need a whole tag on here maybe. But I'm looking at this one because of the yellow and blue in the Ikea logo. So I might fussy cut this sweetie out. I like the Happy Easter too. Maybe I'll use the tag, I don't know, but this is just how I'm beginning, and that's what I always like to share with you. So let's see what kind of plan I can put together. All right, I am at this point going to take the page out so I can work on it, of course. So we'll get that out of the way. And I just want to point a couple of things out before I get all this stuff down, and that is, if you're new here, you don't know maybe that I always put photo mats behind my photos. So it might be a coordinating cardstock color or black or something. But I always do that because if you were to compare like not putting a photo mat and just putting that on the page, but then swapping it out for this one, even though it's smaller, it has that photo mat. It just sort of frames it out nicely. This just seems like it needs to be anchored with some sort of border. So that's why I always do that. Makes it look a little more pleasing. And then also I did decide I liked the whole tag. However, it was really big for my page when I started putting my photos down. So I just reprinted it. I made it a little smaller. Went to my hole reinforcers over there. I have a whole bunch already cut out at different colors, and I found that pretty kind of vintage pink. So that's cool. And because I used that vintage pink, then I thought, well, that's the color I'm going to make my little Playful Flowers. So I just started to pop these things on here. I don't really have a plan yet exactly where everything will go perfectly, but I'm just kind of thinking along these lines for my page. And then I die cut all these different pink colors. So some of them are actually, you know, colored onto white cardstock with ink. Oxides in a spongy brush. Some are pattern paper. They have a little pattern to them. And this one as well is pattern paper, just on the more solid side. So just slightly different variations of that pink color. And then I cut those 2 different styles of flowers out, and also my 14. And then I thought my border, my little lacy border, I cut out of this cheerful yellow that kind of is almost as bright as the Ikea logo, but not quite. And I really didn't want it to be quite that bright. So I die cut that and my other playful flower here. And I think that's where my 14 is going to go. So as you can see, a little plan coming together here. And the plan here with the flowers is because, you know, the bed is not, it's not like the showcase of the whole page. So I don't care if I kind of cover that up a little bit. It's really just to get it across that that's what we went to Ikea for, to buy our new duvet. So I'm going to overlap the photo with these flowers coming up from this border. And this is, like I said, something that I was inspired by some of my design team girls. And I thought it looked really pretty. And I thought, well, I'm going to try that too. I like that. So I'm going to fiddle with that. And I am changing out like pattern papers so that it varies a little bit. But I think that's going to be really pretty along the bottom of the page here. And the only other thing I need to do, because on all my right-hand pages I do this, is pick a color and a style of the hole reinforcers to go on the actual page holes here. All right, so I went to my Reinforcement Variety Pack 1 and I pulled just the regular circles and was going to do that, but then I pulled these. They're a little smaller and a little kind of wavy. And so I die cut a couple of colors, and then I thought, oh, those would be kind of cute layered on each other. So you could go just with the pink or just with the yellow, but let's layer them together and then we get these cute little things. Now, don't say it. Are you thinking it? Looks like a little frosted donut. That's okay. I have started to put them on the page. I like them. I don't mind. So I'm just going to use a little bit of adhesive on the back since I did not put the double-sided adhesive on the pink before I cut it out. That was because I used this sheet that I had cut out. I had, you know, done the ink with the brush on this one with saltwater taffy oxide. A really pretty pink. So that was already kind of done. So I just use that. And we'll pop these on here. And I will show you my little flower strip there with the border, how it turned out. Okay, so that's cute. And as you can see, as I'm picking up the page, I do have things glued down. So I knew Ikea was going to go up there. And I placed my photos and I determined that that's where that's going to go. So that looks cute with that yellow flower behind it. So let's take the border. And I'll leave that glue out because we're going to use that. And so here's how it kind of turned out. And of course things are sticking off down the bottom. So we have to trim those off. Just nice and straight to match the border. You could do this on your paper trimmer, of course, but I'm just going to use my scissors because they're right here. Okay. And then since I have been inking edges, I will ink that. I'm just using frayed burlap, just so it's not a really, really heavy brown. Okay, and there it be, right? It's cute. That's going to go down here. But I want to get this photo in there first. Actually, let's go ahead and glue it down. But we'll just put adhesive down here at the bottom. So we can slide the photo underneath there. And if I feel like I want to put more adhesive, once the photo's under there, I can. All right, and now we're ready to get these photos on here. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up because this flower situation down here sort of dictates where this is going to land. So I'm just going to kind of tuck that way over here. And I'm watching this left edge and my left edge of my photo to make sure it's straight. Looks good. Okay. And then we have Paul and I. And then we have Meatballs. So I think I'm going to cover up that corner of the meatball picture. So let's come down here And just slightly, let's see, is that going to work? No, we need to come up here. So there's not a lot of space between these two, the Easter tag and my picture below. So I don't think I want to overlap the tag. I think I'm going to overlap, no, I think I'm just going to stick it right in between, nice and close. Kind of a stair-stepping action between the tag and the meatballs and the bed. Such a strange topic here. I'm going to pop that on there nice and close, right under the logo, lined up on the left edge. Okay. Wow, what do you think? It's kind of a funny page with Ikea logo and a Happy Easter duck and a bed, but hey, that was my week. All right, I put a little bit of glue behind this end over here of the flowers and over here. I don't feel it's necessary to do on top of the photo, and I'm afraid of getting too much glue on my photo, so I'm just gonna stop while I'm ahead and call it finished. And there we go, week 14 is done. I appreciate you joining me once again. I always appreciate your comments. I'm not a big fan of people who do YouTubes and keep saying, you know, subscribe, hit that bell. But a lot of you have said before, like, wow, I never even thought to subscribe. So if you're here and you'd like to support me, if you'll subscribe, you will get notifications when I post a new video, and so you don't have to remember. Also, if you hit the bell, that's when you get those notifications. So when I have supporters and subscribers, that just makes my channel grow even more, so I can provide really great content for you guys. So if you think of it and want to, please subscribe, and thank you. And hit the like button, that's always great too. All right, thanks for joining me. Week 14 is done, and I will see you next week for week 15.